This is Underground Opera.
In the desert where the jackals sing, my head is open and I'm flying high tonight. I see a vision of a lightning sky, a technicolor sun and songbirds in flight. I think somebody told me it would be alright. He said you got the largest heart in the world, but I don't know what that really means. I'm only a little girl, and I don't want to make a scene. I want to go home to the place where I can just be me, and just like you, Gerard.
Hello, friends, family, and fiends of Undergroundopolis. You like this show? Hit that subscribe button or follow or wherever you're watching. We started going live again. This is how I started the show, and then I got away from it. But now I'm getting back to base X, so to speak, getting back to the roots. So if you haven't, click that thumbs up button for me. That costs you nothing. Helps me out a whole lot, especially if it's on YouTube. Oh, we do have people watching. Leave us your comments. Give my guest your questions. My guest I'm really excited about. I'm always really excited for guests, but this one I have a reason to be very excited to talk to this particular guest. I'm going to explain it to her, and she's not even going to remember this interaction. But and I'm just going to bring her right on. Very important guest to me. Yeah, I don't know. Introduce yourself before I start lollygagging.
All right. Hi, I'm Robyn Mackenzie. I've been doing FAWM, February Alum Writing Month, for about 16 years, since 2009.
Wow. So where are you from?
I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Right on. And let me tell you, the reason that I was really excited to get you on the show is because you are the first person that ever commented on one of my songs on FAWM. I don't know if you remember. I seriously doubt you remember it, but there's like
many FAWMs.
It's like 3 years ago, but that's why like when you said something about being interested in the show, I was like, yes, absolutely. You were the very first person to ever comment on one of my songs. So you have a place. You didn't even know about it. All right. Well, let's right off the bat. How was this year's experience? How would you describe this year's experience?
This year's experience was very different and interesting for me. So normally when I do FAWM, I kind of just go where the muse takes me, do some of the challenges, might get kind of a hodgepodge of different genres going. But this year I was coming out of a personal crisis and really trying to kind of get back on my feet. And so I decided to kind of treat FAWM as like a spiritual exercise this year. And so a lot of the songs are very spiritual or personal in nature. A lot of times I'll do like political songs. I only did one political song this year. I took some of the inspiration from like the 12 steps, did some songs kind of based on those first few steps. And so it's a really interesting experience. And I don't know if I would take that approach again, but yes, therapy, absolutely. Absolutely.
Is that where Let the Storm Spirits Play came from?
Kind of, yes. Let the Storm Spirits Play was a collaboration with Tara Henton. And when we got together to talk about this collab, we were both kind of going through it. And we started talking about Disney movies. And I asked her, I was like, have you seen the movie Turning Red? And she was like, oh, yeah, my kid loves that movie. And so we kind of started talking about like the message of that movie and how there's a line in that movie, something about like people have all sorts of sides to themselves and some are messy. And the point isn't to push them away. You know, the point is to live with it, make room for it. And so that's where that came from. And it was a big aha moment when we started talking about that movie and how we wanted to incorporate that into our song.
Well, I heard the two voices and I was like, this is really badass. And do you have a studio, your own studio or something?
I have a bedroom.
Me too. I got a bedroom studio. It sounded really pro. Like all of them
Thanks.
sound really pro. Really do. They sounded. Maybe it's just you. Yeah, mine don't sound pros.
You know, everybody's got, you know, different production styles and different levels of experience and know-how. And that's one of the beautiful things about FAWM is like you've got people who are like recording a ukulele jingle on an iPhone, and then you've got people who are, you know, plugging things into like an interface and have like a really like fancy home studio. And yeah, so
No, it's nothing fancy,
it's a nice
but
mix.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, you got. Let's see. I've got a few. Let's talk about 10% Happier.
Yes. Oh, that one was so much fun.
Let's get
yeah, so that was a collab with Sapient. And Sapient, for people familiar with FAWM, is kind of like the rock metal god. And he and I have collabed on a few things before, and he emailed me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to collab on something?" I was like, "Yeah, I've got this riff that's been hanging around in my head." And so I sent him the riff. He sent stuff back. I sent stuff back, and it just turned into this like amazing like punk masterpiece where we're both like yelling into the mic. And I think my favorite part of that song is his line, "You're a few gnomes short of a lawn." I mean, that's an amazing line.
That's a great
amazing line.
By the way, if anybody has any questions for Robyn, I will get them to her. And even if you're not watching it live, I will still get them to make her come back and comment on it. So let's see. Now, my favorite song, and this is, I think it might surprise you, is Love Magic.
That does surprise me.
Since it is my show, I get to talk about my favorite song. Yeah.
The reason it surprises me, because I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on that song, and that was actually my least favorite song this FAWM.
Was it?
It was. I did it for Song Fight, and I kind of hammered it out and went, good enough, and threw it up there, and you know, just got a lot of really amazing, wonderful feedback on it. So it may be one that I return to at some point. But yeah, it was definitely not my favorite this FAWM. So tell me what you liked about it. What grabbed you about it?
I just dug it, and I don't know. I've listened to it several times on the way to work the past week. It's a good wake up song or going to the day job.
Fancy.
Like yeah. It works with the caffeine, you know.
Yeah.
What is Song Fight?
Song Fight is another songwriting challenge. So a lot of people who do FAWM also do Song Fight.
Right.
And Song Fight, yeah, Song Fight, I believe, is where the song skirmish idea came from. Which is where you write a song in an hour to a given prompt. So Song Fight, the way that Song Fight works, they'll give you a title, and then you have like a week and a half to write, record, submit this song, and then people vote on it and give feedback. And it's very different than FAWM in that a lot of the feedback is, I don't want to say hard, but it's definitely not as like, yay, go, this is awesome, as FAWM is, because if there's something off, if the production is maybe lacking something or there's something that's sticking out, people will tell you. So it's a really good place to go if you're really looking to hone your skills. FAWM is a wonderful, beautiful playground that I recommend to everybody. Songfight is a little more competitive.
Well, that's not bad. Like,
No,
I
not
got,
at all. It's great. It's a great community too, and like I said, there's a lot of FAWMers in that community as well.
if you does it go on like all year round, or is it just
Mhm.
like February or like
No,
like
it's all
fall?
year round. Yeah, yeah, more critical, but yeah, definitely not in a bad way. It can be really helpful feedback.
And what do you release your albums?
I do. I have one that I'm working on right now that I'm hoping to put out in the next few months if I can get my butt in gear to finish it. But I do have a lot of my music on robynmackenziemusic.com, which is my website. Um, and so all my albums are there. You can also find me on like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon. Um, so all the places, really.
SoundCloud. Yeah.
SoundCloud, yes.
Just
I always forget about SoundCloud because I mostly just use SoundCloud to like host demos so I can like listen to them, and it's not really one that I send out much. But yes, my stuff is also on SoundCloud.
I was just bringing it up because I thought that was the only when I first started doing FAWM. I thought that was the only way you could put a song on there.
Oh,
But now I find out you can do YouTube. You can use. I was using my BandLab app. And people are
mhm.
using Bandcamp, and you know, it'll give you that warning message. But if you can get around it if you just
Yeah,
it'll tell you if it doesn't like what link you're using. You just use a
mhm.
different link.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm really excited to find out about this Songfight. Is it a website?
yeah. Songfight.org.
Okay. I'm like, you had me there. Like, what is it? Song?
Check it out. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great community as well.
Well, so I'm sorry, I got lost. How many songs did you get this year?
I got 15, so
15.
just past the finish line.
Which one's your favorite?
Believe in You by far is my favorite. That one was really fun to do because I mentioned that some of the songs I did this FAWM were based on the 12 steps, and so that was one of them. Kind of trying to come to the idea of trusting in a higher power. I consider myself a spiritual person, not religious, but I was really struggling with the higher power things. I'm like, what is my higher power? I don't know. And so I kind of played with that idea and explored that through that song. And part of that song also came out of a prompt to write a song about being lost in space. And so it was really fun to like take those two ideas and just mush them together. And I really like the way it turned out. I think it came out better than I had even expected it to.
See, I didn't know if I was the only person that mixed skirmishes and prompts into the same song, or
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, me too.
multiple prompts. It seems like last year there was a prompt like every day, which is
Hmm.
man, how do you not run out of ideas? Like seriously, like it seemed like this year like is every few days, which I think is smarter. Yeah.
Hmm.
You want to oh you're in recovery. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, I gave up. I gave up in June. So,
Hmm.
I gave up alcohol in
Congratulations.
June. Well,
Yeah, congrats. That's
I'm
awesome.
not. I'm not waving a sobriety. I don't go to meetings. I think I just got bored.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah.
used to
No,
have a bad alcohol habit. I did.
oh, me
But I guess
too. Absolutely.
I probably still do. I just not doing it right now or today
Mhm.
or you know. You tell us about your recovery if you want. If you don't, we'll move on.
Yeah, no, I'm an open book. I'm more than happy to talk about recovery, mental health, anything like that. So I've been alcohol free for over a year, and the meetings thing, I waffle on it. I will go to them for a while and go, this is really great. I need to stick with this. This is awesome. And then I'm like, and I'll back off. So I kind of go back and forth, and exploring the 12 step through music was really fun, except that when you get to like the fourth step, there's like this searching and fearless moral inventory that you are supposed to do. And you're supposed to have like a sponsor, and I hadn't gotten to that point. So I just kind of left it at, the few songs I did that were kind of exploring it, and I may go back to it someday, but for now I feel like I'm doing okay.
Where can we hear your FAWM songs at other than FAWM? This year's FAWM.
Oh gosh. I think they're all on SoundCloud, but I think I put them all as private links. But I am planning to release Believe in You as a single, hopefully. I did submit it to a sync licensing opportunity for film and TV. So should that come to fruition, you may hear it on Netflix or whatever. But if not, I'll release it because I really like it. It's my fave.
That is all our time we have for now. Thank you for listening to Undergroundopolis. Remember, we do this every Wednesday night, bringing you new and exciting artists every week. Be sure to hit up their websites and social media and stream or download their music. If you like this show, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, any streaming platform, and leave us a review as well. I'm your host, Rob Lyon, signing off.